I apologize to you guys for the really late upload, obviously, the next day. I didn't expect to do this, but I was out last night and had some fun, and didn't want to have to do the video last night, right? Especially when the Raptors, they lost again. And I thought, you know what, there's no games on today. Might as well just push them to tomorrow and do them. Raptors, they lost, though. And it was a really odd game. Because the first half was awful. Awful. You're down by, we're at 20 plus. In the second, I think it was like 21 at the half. You allow 71 points in the first half. And you're just getting blown out in the first half. You lose Scotty Barnes with an ankle sprain. We're still waiting on the severity of it, but X-rays are negative, which is a good sign to start. Then you got to go from there. But then in the second half, Raptors hold the Heat to 41 points. They crawl back and they only lose by 3. And they had a chance late, right? They lose 112-109, and they're now 1-2 on the season. So what does this game consist of? Well, first off, we're going to go through the game. First quarter, as I mentioned, the defense stunk. It was nowhere to be found. 38 points allowed for the Toronto Raptors, and they only scored 33. You're -5 after one quarter. It's only 5, right? You're matching them bucket for bucket. Someone's got to give at some point, and the Raptors did in the second quarter, right? 33 for the Miami Heat. That gets their 71 in the first half. Raptors score 17. They were -16. 16 in the second quarter. And as I mentioned, you lose Scotty Barnes and you're down 21 at the half. I mean, this is an ugly game. Looks like you're going to get absolutely demoralized. But in the second half, Pascal starts attacking more. Gary Trent starts knocking down some shots. Precious Chua gives you some mojo off the bench, which we really haven't seen all year yet. And you win the third quarter by 12. 33-21, and just like that, it's a 9-point game going into the fourth, right? 9-point game? 9-point game? Either way, it's single digits heading into the final frame. And actually, I am right. It was a 9-point game. And in the fourth quarter, the Raptors again continue to fight, continue to chip away. But unfortunately, 26-20 in that fourth quarter for the Toronto Raptors, they lose. When you put yourself in that big of a hole and you don't get... Look, we've talked about it so many times. You can't just play one half, right? You can't just not show up for a first half, because you're going to get obliterated. And on the offensive end, you were all right. You scored 50. You scored 50 in the first half, which is not terrible. I mean, your second quarter was downright abysmal, but the defense was very lackluster, and it wasn't great. And oh yeah, by the way, Christian Koloko gets ejected as well. And I'm like, hold on a minute. How does Koloko get ejected in this point? You watch the replay. He's battling, he's trying to get the defensive rebound. And I think it's hilarious because Caleb Martin wraps him up. And, Koloko comes down a little off balance. So if you're falling over, right, what is your first instinct? To grab something, right? So he grabs the shoulder of Caleb Martin to kind of hold him up a little bit. Obviously, that didn't work because he still ended up on his rear end. But Caleb Martin, I don't know, he took offense to that or something. You wrapped him up, bud. That's why he was on his rear in the first place. And then Caleb Martin goes right as Koloko's on the ground. He gets right on top of him, and Koloko gets up and wrestles him to the ground into the seats. Koloko, wraps him up as well, because you're coming down with me if you're going to push me down like that. And then Koloko gets ejected? And I'm like, well, hold on a minute. What's he supposed to do? Be like, no, I can't do anything. Just throw me on the flipping chair. Throw me into the stands. Throw me on the fans. That's okay. I'm not allowed to do anything. But he even didn't do much. So he gets ejected. Not sure why. Lots of weird stuff going on in the game. But in the end, the Raptors do fall. And could you credit that to maybe Scotty Barnes leaving after 13 minutes? It's possible. Because when this team was really lackluster, he was great. In 13 minutes, Scotty Barnes had 11 points, 2 boards, 2 dimes, was 5 of 9 from the... Dude, took 9 shots in 13 minutes. This is the Scotty Barnes we all want to see. The aggressive one. Problem, he gets hurt. 1 of 3 from the free throw line as well for Scotty. So we're all just hoping, praying, and holding our breath that it's all good news coming out of Raptor camp for Scotty Barnes. But for the other guys, Pascal Siakam, honestly, in the first half, he wasn't imposing himself all that much. Then the second half, again, he almost had another triple-double, for God's sakes. 23 points, 8 boards, 9 assists. Shot 8 of 19, so a little bit low on the percentage standpoint, but he was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That's something that we've been kind of keeping an eye on lately, right? The first 2 games, Pascal struggled a little bit from the line, but today, or I guess last night, not so much. 7 of 8 from the line, really nice job there. He was 0 of 2 from 3. He had a steal and a block, so he did a nice job. Gary Trent Jr. We talked about it in the season preview. We talked about it in the preseason preview. If this dude can shoot the 3 consistently, he will be an incredible weapon to this team. An incredible weapon. He had 23 points last night with 1 rebound, a couple assists on 7 of 18 shooting. Again, not great percentages. Was 4 of 6 from the free throw line. That's not Gary Trent either. He's usually money from the line. Him and Fred are usually Mr. Automatics from the free throw line. But he was 5 of 12 from 3. He made 5 threes. And all those other numbers, I don't give a damn about because he's shooting 5 of 12 from distance. 2 steals and a block for GT. I think he was better. He was a lot better in that game. Again, the defensive end came and went for the Toronto Raptors in that one, right? Great second half. Horrendous first half. OG. Still waiting on him. You know, we had to talk in the offseason. We all read the media, right? We all knew what was happening. Whether it was real or not, I don't know. About, OG wanting more, playing time, wanting more, want the ball more, this and that. Well, in the first 3 games of this season, I haven't seen any indication of why they should give OG the ball on a consistent basis. Not saying he's no good, don't get me wrong. He can make his shots. But he can't create himself. Let's be honest, Raptor fans. When we see OG one-on-one with a guy, and then he tries to get downhill against him, it's almost as bad as Precious. Okay, no, I can't say that. It's not as bad as Precious because that thing can get real hectic real fast with Precious in the paint. But for OG, his handles they're not the greatest. 13 points, 9 boards last night, but he shot 5 of 14. Now, albeit he was 3 of 6 from 3, so we'll take that any day. And had a steal in the block. You know what you're going to get defensively from OG. But offensively, 5 of 14, 13 points, 9 rebounds. You want more from OG. You got us all wanting more, right? So we continue to wait on OG. Obviously, we talked about Scotty Barnes. Precious Achiuwa. It's about damn time. This is the guy that we've all been wanting to see. This is the guy that we were talking about in preseason, in the season opener. Who's going to take that next step? And we knew Precious was coming into the year after that really nice second half of the season last year. What was he going to give you? Well, through the first couple of games, it was not been pretty, right? Great second half, or fourth quarter, or whatever it was, in Game 1 against Cleveland, but not good at all in Game 2 against Brooklyn. But last night, you needed him to be good. With losing Scotty Barnes, you needed that next man to stand up for you. And Precious gave you 18 points, 11 boards, 1 assist, shot 5 of 9 from the field, with 6 of 7 from the free throw line. That is something that we talked about last year about that guy, and he's young, right? So, okay, moving forward, that's something he has to work on. He was great in preseason free throw shooting. He was 6 of 7 yesterday, 2 of 5 from distance, was a plus 16 when he was on the floor. That was one of the better games we saw from Precious Achiuwa. And we're hoping it continues. But for the Toronto Raptors, I really hope they take this second half mentality from today and they transform that into game 2 of this series. Because they play Miami tomorrow in Miami again. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. We talked about Christian Koloko getting ejected. Malachi Flynn, wanted to briefly bring him up. Haven't seen him at all this year. Had the mask on, 6 points, made 2 threes. Don't want to hear me complain about that at all. 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Nice job, Malachi. Team stats. Raptors shot 42% from the field. Again, not very efficient, but those numbers are quite skewed because the second half numbers are a lot better than the first half numbers. 36% from 3, not bad. Also not the greatest. Where else are we here? 75% from the free throw line. They were 21 for 26, or 28. I can't read my own writing. I think it was 28. A lot better. 75%. We'll take that any day of the week. However, Miami shot 50% from the field, right? They were 37% from three. And they were 93% from the free throw line. They were 25 for 27 from the line. It's pretty incredible. When you make free throws, good things will happen for you. It really is. Now, I'm not saying they did, obviously they did a decent enough job yesterday, 75% on 28 attempts. Not bad. But again, the Raptors don't dominate the glass. And this is something that's now happened in back-to-back contests. They were -7 on the boards yesterday. They were +2 on the offensive boards. But again, only +2, right? Raptors usually like those really skewed stats. And -7 on the glass as well, not great. +9 in turnovers, though. They did do a really nice job there. 15 turnovers for the Heat. Raptors only turned the ball over 6 times. I think we talked about it in the game against Brooklyn, where they had like 14 turnovers, and we're like, that is not Raptors-esque. Last night, a lot more Raptor-esque in the sense of minimalizing the turnovers, right? Taking care of the basketball, and they definitely were. Now, we move on, because this game stinks. You know, you get that close when you're down 21, and you lose. Now, you play Miami again. You could possibly redeem yourself tomorrow, 7:30 in Miami. Used to be American Airlines Center. That's how I know it. 7:30 there in Miami. Game 4 of the season. And Game 2 of this little mini 2-game series against the Miami Heat. Look, it's hard for teams to win back-to-back games against the same damn team. Like in the playoff series, right? It's not easy to do. So Miami has to do it again. And I'm hoping the Raptors take that second half mentality they had and take that into tomorrow's game, because they're going to need it. They got to come out and make that first punch. Because you can't put yourself down 21 and try and crawl back into it. They are not the Brooklyn Nets. They will not be as streaky as the Brooklyn Nets, albeit they'd had a terrible second half. But I'm telling you, that you won't get those 10, 12-0 runs with Miami. Albeit they haven't been great to start the year. Obviously, they're 1-2 as well. But their players are still great. You know, and it's frustrating. It really is. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. It's probably not my best video of all time, because, you know, I was out watching the Leaf game as well, so it's kind of tricky to do these videos that way, and I apologize in advance for that, guys, if it wasn't the best one out there. But I'm doing what I can. I'm doing exactly what I can to pump out a video for you guys talking about last night's basketball game. All right? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed it, though. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like? If I missed anything from last night's game, let me know in the comments. Twitter link is down below. So follow us on media and all that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below. So follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leaf session very short. Let's talk about last night's win over the Winnipeg Jets. And for the Toronto Raptors, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. All right, it's Miami Heat yet again in Miami. 7:30 tip-off there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the second half to yesterday's game. We'll talk to you guys then.